Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book tag that I've seen a lot of people do, and I feel like it was time for me to do it. That is the over 30 book tag, because your girl is almost 32. I'll be 32 in September, so I thought that now was as good a time as ever. So yeah, with that being said, this tag was originally created by Ink Not Blood, so I will have her original video linked in the description, as well as a few other people that I've enjoyed their tags, like Olive from A Book Olive, April from Getting Hooga With It. I really enjoy both of their tags, and just some other like maybe smaller creators that I just watched their tag as I was searching it over the last few weeks. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best to come up with good answers, but it's hard to think of every book I've ever read, and I know that's kind of the kind of questions that are in this tag. So yeah, here we go. I'm gonna start. What did I call this? The over 30 book tag? I guess it's the after 30 book tag. I guess it's either. Well, the first prompt is name one of your favorite books that features a protagonist who is 30 years old or older. So that's like kind of difficult actually, just because I can't think of a lot of books where they like tell me exactly how old the character is that I can remember. I'm not 100% sure that she's over 30, but I know it says she's nearly 30 at the very beginning of the book, and it does span some time. But I'm gonna go with Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I love this book, and I love Eleanor, even though at first I just remember that I couldn't stand Eleanor, but man, you really grow to care about her and celebrate her growth. This is just a great middle adult age book, like in your late 20s, early 30s. It really gets you. It's wonderful. I highly recommend this book, and it's not too long either. So yeah, so we're gonna say she's over 30 by the end of the book. Prompt number 2 is to name a book that represents who you were when you were younger. I feel like an obvious one for me to say would be maybe Hermione from the Harry Potter series. I identified very much with Hermione. I was always, you know, ready to answer the question. I knew I had like a photographic memory, so when I read something or write something down, I can usually remember it. And I'm also still like this. I was always like a stickler for like the rules. Like, this is how it's supposed to be done because it's the right way. Not just that it's my way, but it's that I've gone through every scenario and this is the best possible way, so that's the way we should do it. It's very Enneagram 1 of me. I know that. I guess I was already feeling that as a child, but I would definitely have to say Hermione. And then also I think I could say who I wanted to be more like was probably Susan. I identified a little bit with Susan from the Chronicles of Narnia. Well, I was looking for the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but I must, either my daughter has it on her bookshelf, or I'm overlooking it. But this is Prince Caspian. But what I was saying is I wanted to probably be seen more like Susan, because she was gentle and kind of like regal and well-spoken, but people listened to what she said, and I wanted that kind of respect. I wanted people to listen to me. I'm the oldest of 3 children, and I very much have always been the one to speak for everyone, and my way is the best way. So yeah, I would say a little bit of Hermione for sure, who I actually was like and still resemble, and a little bit Susan Pevensey. Number 3 is to name a book that represents where you are in your life now. I think possibly a good book to describe that would be a nonfiction memoir, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. I'm hoping that I'm in the place in my life now where I'm realizing how important therapy is and how we all need it, and learning from other people and just not judging everyone so harshly. I used to be very much more so than I am now, black and white, like things are good, they're right, or they're wrong. And now I definitely understand that there's more nuance to things, but I still have a very, very, very strong like moral guide. But also I really like to listen to my friends' problems and try to see things from all sides and try to give them the best, most unbiased help that I can. And so I guess just reading about a therapist treating patients and also seeing her own therapist really pretty much sums up where I am right now in my life. Prompt number 4 is to name a book that represents something that has never changed about you. I'm gonna have to think about this for a second. Okay, for this one I'm gonna pick a book that actually was my like favorite book as a younger child. I think I was probably in like 7th grade the first time I really got into it, and I had like a tattered old paperback copy, and we used it again in 9th grade honors English, and we really delved into it. And then they released an illustrated version that I wanted so badly, and my best friend ended up getting it for me for either Christmas or my birthday one year. And that is gonna be Edith Hamilton's Mythology, Timeless Tales of Gods and Heroes. And like I said, this is the most beautiful illustrated edition. It's amazing. It's so heavy, it's so thick, and I don't even know if I can get it to. But yeah, it has all of your favorite myths and legends from Greece, and that's just one thing about me, I guess, that's never changed since I was little. I've just always been so extremely interested and fascinated by world mythology and folklore and history and anthropology, and you know, that's what I have been going to school for forever. I ended up, you know, changing from what I went to school for originally after high school. So yeah, I guess that's something that's never changed about me, is how much I love learning about ancient cultures and what drove them and how they believe the world came to be, how it existed. I've always been very, 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 very curious. That when I was little, everyone called me nosy, but I just wanted to know everything you could possibly know about everything. Number 5 is to name one of your favorite classics. This one's difficult because there's 2 that both just are really like calling to me and pulling at my heartstrings, and I don't know if I have physical copy of one of them, so that might make it easier because I can't actually hold it up and talk about it. I'm just going to insert this at some point. I just want to point out that I have 2 different versions of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe that were on my bookshelves directly behind me, not even in another room, and I couldn't see either of them. So the one I'm not going to talk about, or like show off, I'm just going to mention really fast because it really is one of my favorites. And we got to like really pick it apart and dive deeper into it and talk about it in one of my literature classes in college, and that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I never thought I liked the story of Frankenstein, but I think it was because I didn't love people always talking about being Frankenstein, which is wrong because Frankenstein's the doctor, not even the monster. So that's what I'm not going to really discuss. I'm going to say right now probably my favorite classic, which is so weird because it's a bit of a downer, and that's Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. And man, I'm just going to say, I don't know why I love this book so much, but because it is not happy. Like, poor freaking Tess, things just do not go her way, like ever, every time you think it's going to. And then the ending is just, it's like Shakespeareanly tragic. It is very, very tragic. But I love it, and I love most adaptations that I've seen of it. I just think it's a really well done story, especially if you have someone to discuss it with, maybe a class or something that's going over it. But yeah, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, strangely enough. Alright, and question or prompt number 6 is to name a book that you like or would like to read that was published in the year that you were born. So I was born in the year 1988, and there were some very interesting books that were published that year, but I would say one of my favorite books that was published, and one that I identified with as a child and I still identify with today, and actually the movie adaptation is my favorite movie. Whenever someone asks me what my favorite movie is always my answer, and that is Matilda by Roald Dahl, which, by the way, did you guys know we were saying his name wrong this whole time? I can't believe that. I've always thought it was Roald, and then I read like an article about it a few years ago and it's Ruel or something like that. So, but yeah, Matilda, she's amazing. She is born into a family that doesn't love her for who she is and doesn't appreciate what an amazing kid she is. That part I definitely didn't have in common with her. I had really great parents and extended family, but I just was fascinated by her. She was so strong, and anything that someone told her she couldn't do, she did. She read the entire library. I mean, she got me going to the library. I went to the library as much as possible when I was a child, and it was mostly because of Matilda, and her powers are a totally different story. And then, you know, we have like probably one of the most infamous villain characters that I still reference all the time, and it is still very big in pop culture, the Trunchbull. She's terrifying. And then my like archetype of like the perfect, genteel, beautiful, kind woman, you know, young educator, elementary school teacher, is Miss Honey. Like, to this day, like when my kid has a good teacher, I'm like, okay, but on the level of like 1 to Miss Honey, like where is this teacher? So I would have to say Matilda is probably my favorite book that I can think of that I actually read that was published in 1988. So yeah, that's the end of the prompts for the over/after 30 book tag. I actually don't know everyone's ages. I think maybe Kayleigh is my age, so maybe she's like 30. I'm not sure. But you know, if you want to do this tag, that would be great. But even if like I didn't say your name and you're 30 or older, please, if you do this tag, tell me down below. This is one of my favorite ones to watch. We oldies gotta stick together. So yeah, like I said, I'll link some of those other videos along with the original tag from the creator down in the description box. But that's gonna be all from me today. I absolutely love you guys, and I appreciate you like just interacting with me and discussing books we love and hate. And I will hopefully talk to you guys again really soon. Bye.